Welcome to the Heart of a Viking. This channel offers elementary art lessons taught by Mrs. Minto from the Cape Henlopen School District in Delaware. I look forward to virtually creating with you. There are new lessons posted weekly. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss a single one. So go grab your art supplies and your thinking caps and let's begin. Welcome back, everybody. Today is all about finishing up. So if you haven't finished coloring, you should definitely finish coloring. And if you're using watercolor pencils like me, today we're getting out a couple of different brushes. I have some flat and some round brushes that will be good for different areas of my project. And I'm simply going to paint. Now, these watercolor pencils work in the same way that watercolor paints do. Every time I get them wet, they turn into paint, and then I simply brush gently back and forth to paint and fill in the space. If I need to switch colors, so right here my yellow kind of changes to orange, I want to make sure that I not only wet my paintbrush every now and then, but when the color changes that I rinse my paintbrush. So if I'm just wetting it, it's just a quick dunk in the water, and if I am rinsing it, it's a dunk and a wiggle in the water. So I make sure that I change and wiggle my paintbrush to rinse it off in the water between colors, especially when I am switching from dark to light colors. Let me finish up the sky here and then we'll talk about what's next. Okay, now I'm not going to go to the mountains next because the sky is still wet. So I'm going to skip the mountains to avoid the colors kind of smearing and blending in together. So instead, I'm going to jump down and paint some of these buildings. Now, these buildings, I layered colors on top of each other. I used a color on most of them, like yellow or green or brown, and then I added some black over top of it to make it look a little bit dark. Since the sun is setting in my picture, I didn't want them to be bright. So now that I'm painting them, those two colors are going to totally mix together, and that is fine. That is exactly what I expected to happen. So if you did something similar, don't be surprised when it changes to a much darker color, especially if you included black like I did, because that is what's going to happen. The colors are going to blend together. All right, let's finish up these buildings. Okay, so notice I skipped every other one. I did that because I didn't want the color from one blending into the color from another, so I'll come back later and start to paint those in. So now I'm just going to be skipping around my picture and painting spaces that aren't touching so that the colors don't blend or bleed together. And as I do, other spaces will dry. It dries pretty quick, and then I'll just keep working my way until I painted every area, making sure that I rinse my brush between colors and wet my brush when it starts to feel dry. All right, I'm going to leave you for now and keep on painting. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this experience. I hope you can see the three-dimensionality of our city here. I noticed one big mistake on mine. I did not put a sidewalk coming out onto the road, and so these doors are super dangerous. So let's pretend that's just a big old sidewalk next to a smaller sidewalk that's next to the water. Okay, so anyways, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you use this technique in your own drawing. There's lots of ways to utilize this idea of one-point perspective using that vanishing point to create some really amazing 3D artwork. And I will see you back here next time at the Heart of a Viking. HOB artists, don't forget to hop on over to Artsonia to upload a photograph of your piece of artwork to your art portfolio. I can't wait to see it.